Today's episode of Dungeon Crawlers Radio is brought to you by Gamers Inn, your one-stop location for all your gaming needs. Located in Lehigh City, Utah, their fun and friendly staff will be more than happy to answer any of your gaming needs. Just remember, Gamers Inn, it's where adventures begin.
It's time to power up.
Autobots, roll out! Broadcasting live from the DCR studio.
Oh yeah!
The Geek Revolution starts here.
Excellent!
Get ready for the #1 hit geek radio show out there.
Well, it is impressive, isn't it?
Because it's time for Dungeon Crawlers Radio. Let's get ready to rumble!
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Alright, everyone, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Crawlers, where Scott has emerged from the timeline. Didn't take as long, but he came back.
Hey guys, sorry about all the noise. Apparently I haven't had any dinner yet. My stomach's been making some awfully weird grumbles.
I'll shove some holes in there. We have donut holes too. You got
Good thing you put that in there, because that sounded really bad.
That sounded like a brand new insult. Everyone's gonna
Shove
start
some
using.
holes in
Yeah,
there.
no, I'm
That makes
sorry.
no
My mind
sense.
went straight to the sewer.
Yeah, see?
It skipped the gutter.
Everyone on this
Went
side of the
straight
table
to
went to the
sewer.
gutter.
Yeah, it didn't go in good direction.
It did not go a good direction at all.
3 out of 4 you lose. Sorry. Alright, anyways.
Majority wins.
We're,
I guess I'm a dirty guy.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Disney and their announcement this
Taking
week.
over the world.
Wait, what's Disney's theme song?
Disney doesn't have one.
No,
Yes,
they
they
don't.
do. Like the little.
That's just the Disney Channel.
I know.
That's not
Wait.
Disney.
That's not Disney.
I thought that
Oh,
was
the
a
movies.
Disney movie.
Okay, yeah,
Technically, it's When You Wish Upon a Star.
yeah, it's When You Wish Upon a Star. But that's not on every Disney film, because you don't see it on any of the Marvel or any of the Star Wars. So
Or Maleficent or Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, or the
Those
Beauty and the
while they are
Beast.
owned by Disney, those aren't officially like Disney.
well,
They
but
still
what
have
about
the
Beauty and
Disney
the Beast?
logo.
It's true, but they
You know
don't
how
have.
there's
And
almost like a-
Maleficent, they didn't have it either.
Yeah,
Maleficent didn't.
no,
No, Maleficent had.
nor the live action Beauty and the Beast.
If I remember correctly,
kidding.
Maleficent had like the Sleeping Beauty love song.
Yeah. When,
Shape it up, Disney.
I know which one.
Once Upon a Dream.
Yeah, Once Upon a Dream. Once upon a
Yeah,
dream.
so they had like the melody from that. And then
I
Beauty and
know
the
you.
Beast was either Be Our Guest.
It was
or
Tell Us All This Time.
Tales of, or the Beauty and the Beast
Yeah,
song.
Beauty and the
Oh,
Beast.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, for those of you that haven't seen, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. It was just announced that Disney is pulling all of their content from Netflix
And why would they be doing
to
that? Daniel?
start their own subscription service. Everyone's doing it. They're gonna jump on the bandwagon. Now there are rumors of the price, but I don't want to throw those out there until they officially announce what it is.
That's a rumor that you were telling us.
Yeah, but it's fairly high from what they're saying, and it sounds like because they're opening
It's
up
more than a
the
Red
vault.
Box.
Yeah, it sounds like they're opening up the vault for that, but I want to wait till the dust settles, because it's interesting. Some of these subscriptions are fairly high. I mean, like HBO is kind of ridiculous in my opinion for
How much
theirs.
is HBO?
I think it's 20.
Seriously?
I think I'm paying 15 for my my Netflix.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a
You're paying
streaming. I'm not.
15 for Netflix. I think I'm paying 10.
Well, I'm paying. You're
I
probably because your
remember
grandfather.
Originally was 10, and I feel like they've upped it since then. And
Well, yeah.
I think the basics now at 15, isn't it?
It is 15, but those that got in early and have continued to pay, they've left you at that amount. So I still pay 10.
I pay 13, and I've been there almost from the beginning, but that's because my subscription, I chose to get like the multiple screens at one time or
Oh, yeah.
whatever that one is.
Yeah.
So I've always paid a little bit more.
So yeah, there is that option where because I think right now with the normal, you're only allowed 2 televisions, but then you can pay a little bit more and get more screens. I mean, it makes sense. I know. Well, for large households, and
Yeah, I can
it makes
understand
sense.
for-
And the app counts as a screen.
Yeah. So if you're
my
watching it on
roommate-
your iPad, someone's watching it on a TV, and then you have another roommate that wants to go watch. Well, they're kind of SOL unless you have that multiple package.
That's true.
So I mean, it is interesting to see Netflix or Disney go away from Netflix because they just kind of did this huge contract with them, and now they're leaving.
Because they used to have it with Stars, didn't they? Like Stars got all of the new Disney content before. it went
Yeah,
anywhere
something like
else.
that. So it's like, okay, we see the beginning of the empire starting.
Bothersome. It bothers me. so much. Like,
Palpatine has come into power,
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm okay with Mickey Mouse taking over the world.
but it's not Mickey Mouse.
No, it's
no,
not.
it's a corporate empire that uses Mickey Mouse as a puppet.
So
Have
okay,
you seen
so
the South
Mickey
Park episode with
Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse.
Wait, what?
So hold on. So
We'll get to that.
when you see the stormtroopers walking through and you see that little insignia, so you're gonna see Mickey. That's all Mickey is that insignia.
insignia,
He is
yep.
nothing
He's
else.
the symbol.
You're crushing my childhood.
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
I mean, it would be awesome if Mickey Mouse was in charge, but let's face it, he's not.
What's your credit limit?
Yeah.
Please don't do that again.
That's even more creepy than the holes comment earlier.
Can we move on now? Please
But
never hear that
it-
again.
So I mean,
I didn't
Disney in
say she was
itself
crazy.
has acquired Marvel, which has a huge back catalog of superhero characters, both male and female, young and old. They've acquired Star Wars, which, let's face it, Star Wars is awesome.
And Indiana Jones.
And they have Indiana Jones. They have everything else Lucasfilm has. And then, I mean, they even attempted to try to buy out Hasbro at one point, which would have collected them Transformers and D&D and all that stuff. That didn't go anywhere, luckily, but they've got a huge chunk of geekdom right now. They really, and now that they're going to be taking away these films and these movies and these series, I mean, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That's going to be gone off of Netflix.
Oh man.
Okay. I do
And-
want to jump out and just say, like, this is really bothering me. Like, when the CW did it and they pulled
Yeah.
all their shows off of Netflix and off of Hulu, like, I was a little perturbed, but at least it was a free service. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like we were paying anything additional each month to be able to still enjoy these shows.
But the CW eventually went back and put their shows back on Netflix. You can
Okay, I was
watch
about to
Flash and
say.
Arrow and Supergirl
Oh,
and
yeah.
that. They're on
They're
there.
still there.
They have a
But
new
originally-
contract.
Yeah,
when they pulled
originally,
them off.
yeah, they originally pulled that. And I'm hoping maybe they decide, okay, hey, maybe we should put it back. But that bugs me because here I have my Netflix, I have my Amazon Prime.
I have my Hulu.
I have Hulu.
Now, if I want to watch Star Wars streaming, I either have to buy it on my Apple TV on my iTunes account, or go over and pick up another subscription service. So it's like, with as many as the subscription services as there is out there, I feel like I'm going back to cable and paying multiple bills to get the same stuff, and it's kind of frustrating now.
So
At least
you're-
you can select your stuff.
True.
Yeah, because cable, you just get what they give you, which I'm dealing with right now.
Well, the whole reason I got rid of cable because I found myself many times like, I want to go watch a show. Click, click, click. 45 minutes later, still haven't found something. Click, click, click. An hour. All right, I guess I'll watch that. And now I look. It's kind of getting that point with Netflix too, but it's like you
Well,
look.
You've seen everything. That's on
yeah.
Netflix.
So now I'm watching Justified again on Amazon Prime. Awesome TV series, but watch Man in the High Castle. They have some stuff there that isn't on Netflix, which is nice. But I just wish there was one place I could go.
Yeah. The one-stop shop.
Yeah, which would be very nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's to a point, and everybody knows this. Anybody in technology knows you want everything in one spot. Look at what phones have become. What everything has become. Everything is becoming integrated
Yeah.
to some level. And then when you see these different conglomerates, even these different entertainment areas just separating and dividing themselves amongst each other, it's really annoying. It's like, come on, why aren't we working together and coming together? And then this is it's bullcrap.
I can
Well,
tell
see-
you why.
And see
Money.
now, well, yeah,
Yeah.
of course it's money. But as far as they see it, and they're going to spin it this way, is that everything is in one spot, your living room. Because now there's even more Disney content they'll be able to offer. I mean, look
Yeah.
at the CW, they offer now like all the Whose Line Is It Anyway episodes, which
Yeah.
they didn't offer before. Like there's a lot more content. We're getting a lot more variation. We're getting a lot more options. but we're having to pay a lot more for it.
Yeah. Well, and that's what frustrates me is I'm having to dish out more to get content that was originally on Netflix.
That was originally available. It
Yeah.
feels like you're paying more for the
Yeah.
same.
And so if I want to watch those, I got to pay for another subscription service so I can watch those.
Well, I'm
You
gonna
know?
be honest. I kind of want to get rid of my Netflix. I mean, there are some days where I'm like just going through trying to find something to watch,
Yeah.
and then
It
there's
feels like you're a bad friend now. You're just gonna backstab Netflix like that? Hasn't been good enough for you? Look at the
always.
countless
Well-
hours you spend, the late nights. It was
Okay,
probably
well,
with you.
this is the thing.
Darren, do you want to get into an argument with me about this right now? Because
Okay.
I can find those shows.
I have been there.
elsewhere.
I have been there. I've been there where it's like, do I really want Netflix? But then I wait a month or two, and then that crap cycles out and new stuff cycles in. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
See, but that's why I preferred Hulu when Hulu was good, is because Hulu lets you pause your subscription and you'll still
Well, you still can.
you still can, but Netflix doesn't give you that option. You have to pay for it every month regardless, which
Yeah.
kind of annoys me because it's like, hey, what if I don't have enough money this month? Where am I going to pull that from? Oh, I can pause my Netflix, but no, Netflix you have to cancel, which means if you're like me and you've had that grandfathered in plan,
lose it.
You lose
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
which isn't worth it. So I just have paused my Hulu until at least the fall season started, and then that's when Hulu really comes back into its own.
See, and they've got you by the wallet. And that's what bothers me is I wish you could make them all seasonal. Like Hulu understands, we're not going to have as much new content coming out during the summer because all the shows are on hiatus. Well, most of the shows are on hiatus. And so, yeah, they dabble in some things, but they have that pause. Like, if you could make it seasonal, like Netflix, from like April through September or even October, like, I'd be fine with that. Catching
Yeah,
up
like
on
every
all the
6
shows.
months.
Yeah, and then switching over to Hulu for the rest of the year. Like, I could live like that.
See, and Amazon Prime, they are actually becoming more my favorite just because of the original Amazon content. Like, I've watched Man in the High Castle, love that. I'm really intrigued by The Last Tycoon that was just premiered. But I also like that they give you the options of upgrading your membership with like stars if you really wanted to do
But
that.
you can't go wrong with Last Tycoon because, correct me if I'm wrong, you got Kelsey Grammer in there. Matt Bomer, which
Lily
if
Collins.
if you Lily Collins definitely. I mean, if you never watch White Collar, then you need
Such
to go
a good
watch
show,
it.
guys.
Oh.
Amazing actor, he really is. And seeing him in a different role is fantastic. But at the same time, you can still see Neil Caffrey in him from time to time. Just
Well, I think Neil Caffrey is always going to be the character he's defined by because Neil Caffrey was unlike anything on TV at that point, and that magic hasn't happened.
but at the same
yet.
time, Matt Bomer has voiced Superman, so even better.
Wow.
That's true, he
that
has.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
Well, and okay. I just got derailed. I don't know where that train was going, so let's keep going.
All right, train went south.
So here's the question: do you think DC is going to compete and come out with a
Warner Brothers are more than likely will. I mean, it makes sense. It literally all these
isn't
movies.
the CW still technically Warner
Yes.
Brothers? So it's some
Yes.
some backwards
So
way?
it really wouldn't be hard for them to say, "All right, we're just going to change this from the CW app to the Warner Brothers app. We're going to throw our movies in here and everything." Because you already have, you sort of have some movies in there.
I'm surprised.
Ooh, that's what I was
going
gonna
to
say.
In there.
Well, actually, I mean, on my Roku, there is a Warner Brothers app that you can access some movies. So I wouldn't be surprised if they mesh that up together and that suddenly becomes something. And then all these movie studios start doing the same thing.
Here's a question for you. So now, what about the original content? Because we talked about the original content that can be found on Amazon,
Yeah.
like The Man in the High Castle. What about Netflix and Hulu? What do you guys think about their original series?
I'm going to get hit across the face. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of the Marvel stuff on Netflix.
You know,
Daredevil season 1, I was
so-
really impressed by.
I have to say it's hit and miss with Netflix original content. Some of it's great, some of it is, at least in my opinion, not so great. Some people love, like the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I think
My
it's
roommate loves that.
dumb. I've tried watching it. I just think it's dumb. But
I'm with you on that.
I know other people that love it
enjoyed
and
the
think
season
it's
one.
hilarious. And that's fine. There are some things that speak to other people and some things that don't. Like the Netflix original movie, that Memoirs of an Assassin, that it stars Kevin James. Hilarious movie. But,
Yeah, see,
didn't,
that should have made it to the theater.
It should
I was
have.
surprised that it didn't.
it should have. And Adam Sandler's thrown out a couple movies that haven't gone to the
yeah?
theater because he's got this contract and it's going to Netflix.
Spectral, for example, that's another one It was a fun movie. I can understand
Yeah.
why it didn't make it to theaters and it was so bogged down in Hollywood with budgets for so
Yeah.
long. But I'm glad that it was able to actually see the light of day
Yeah.
going through Netflix.
And I think that Netflix gives that opportunity. You know, one of my favorite Netflix original TV series that they're putting out is Voltron, Defenders of the Universe. That is amazing. They just released season 3. It's beautiful. I mean, I used to watch Voltron. It was, I'll admit, the 80s version is very corny. But they've streamlined it. It's very modernized, and it's amazing. It's got a great story, beautiful animation, and it's just amazing. But no one else is putting that stuff out. But then again, you have, like on the flip side with Amazon, Man in the High Castle, which is fantastic. I love
so good.
It's an amazing alternate history piece.
What about Hulu? Does Hulu have anything?
They do, but it escapes me what they have.
They have like the cult one, right?
Yeah.
Well, and they haven't, and they had that Stephen King JFK one, but that was a limited series, so I don't know if that.
Yeah,
one.
I don't
That was
think
a fun
I think
time travel.
Hulu is gonna go out. I honestly do. I don't think. Yeah, with Amazon creating their own content and Netflix doing the same, movie and television, Hulu either needs to catch up, or they're gonna become the way of the Betamax. I mean, literally, they need. It's what's gonna
I
happen.
don't think
this
that
is
they
not
need
the time
original
to ask
content.
what that is.
I really don't think they need the original
What a
content.
Betamax
It's
is?
it's
You
it-
should
it's
be old enough to know that.
It's what was out before VHS.
I
they're-
remember
I
VHS
barely
keep
remember
my
VHS, guys.
I
Okay.
remember when G.I. Joe decided to go inside the Betamax. And I remember getting in a lot of trouble because Betamax didn't work. It was the same.
Time to use the Google.
G.I. Joe never really came back out.
Yeah.
And then when I realized what I had done, when I turned to my brother and said, "Hey, let's watch Superman," and Superman 1, 2, and 3 were on the Betamax tapes,
Yeah.
I felt terrible. I was
Well,
so mad at G.I.
Should
Joe.
feel
The Betamax player was awesome because you pushed the button and it popped up.
Yep.
You know, and then you slid the tape in and you pushed it back down.
Yeah.
That was
VCRs
super
that did
cool.
that.
They did, but for a very short time,
Yeah.
and then they went to the front load.
It all
But
ended
that
up
was
being
cool.
front
And then
load.
to get, to set your channels, you had the little toggles that you had to adjust so that when you pushed the button, it would actually show the channel. Yeah. I remember back in the day when, the cable box was a dial.
Come back to
yeah.
us, Daniel. Come back to the future.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
But before we cut off of this, I do want to say, like, Hulu is its own beast. And
It
they offer a
is.
very unique service, being that it's the next day. After you miss a show on TV, you can rewatch it for, 3 weeks before...
Something like that.
Or I guess it's 5 weeks, because they usually have the 5 most recent episodes.
Actually, ABC had a deal where they had the entire season on there,
See, and I
But,
love
okay, but
and you can pay extra for no
I'm
commercial.
just
Otherwise,
gonna-
you'd have to wait for until, the DVDs were released for it to be able to come out
Yeah.
to Netflix.
so
Something like that.
I'll play devil's advocate here. What happens if all these networks say, hey, we got our own subscription service? Why send it to Hulu?
At
Hulu's
that point,
gone at
Hulu
that
would
point.
die.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hulu would be
it would be very easy because all of them have their own subscription service at this
And
point.
they all have their own app at this
Yeah,
point.
if you want to watch any of those shows, you get the last, the last. You don't get the current one that week, but you get the one like last week and the one after that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want any more, you have to pay their subscription.
But all of them
That's
are going to have
kind of
different
what CBS
rules.
did.
They do. They all have different rules. They all have different policies. Their fees are different.
Sometimes they're up for an hour. Sometimes, well, not an hour. Sometimes they're up for a day. Sometimes they're up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
And
difficult
it
to
is.
track.
It's very frustrating. But all they have to do is say, "Why send it to Hulu? We can get all those people over to us." And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, which
Well-
is going to be extremely frustrating.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but like the Sci-Fi app as an example, because I love Face Off, and Sci-Fi actually lets you log in with your Xfinity account.
Well, so do all the other ones. So CBS, ABC,
So I don't
and that.
pay anything extra for that
Yeah,
one. And
if
that's
you
kinda-
have cable, you can log in via your app, your Infinity account, or whatever your cable
CBS,
subscription
however, you
is.
cannot. I do know that for a fact because I got super behind on Supergirl season 1 when it was still on CBS, and they had removed the mid-season finale like a couple days by the time I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about it, and it was deleted from our DVR, and all that sad fat and girl stories, and it was at the point where I had to pay, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll just wait. So I avoided Tumblr, you avoided Googling, just avoided everything for like 6 months until I could finally get caught up on, lo and behold, Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, this is one thing that is a big pet peeve of mine. I feel like every single pilot and second episode of every show should be available for free. Because how do you know if you're going to like a show until you can actually
See, that's the
take a
thing
look
I
at it?
love about my Apple TV. So you can go out and pay for the episodes, but more often than not, they have this free section.
The first test is always free.
Yeah, exactly. They have this free section. You know, they have, and I go in there, and there's every time when I know it's around that time when pilots are coming out, I go in there and I'm like, that looks interesting, and I download them. I mean, that's how I get hooked on a lot of the series that I like, and I think that's fantastic.
No, it is. That's
because
absolutely fantastic.
you're gonna have through them, you have to pay for every episode or the whole season, and so they give you that first one for free, see if you like it. And there's like Sci-Fi released one called Blood Drive. I downloaded that. No, I'm not gonna watch it. Kind of dumb, kind of corny. All their vehicles fueled by blood. You crams a dead, freshly killed body into the engine, and it chews it up and drains it of blood.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
I feel like that just went right over my head.
It's a reference to Little Shop of
Yeah.
Horrors.
Oh yeah,
Rick
went right
Moranis.
over my head. Never seen it.
That's it. Well, guess what? They're remaking it.
Wait,
Didn't they
hold
technically
up. What?
already
Really?
remake it on Fox, or has
Well,
that not come out yet?
Technically, it already is a remake, but
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors came out like in old black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. No, they're planning on remaking it. They're casting new individuals.
A third time?
Yeah.
Don't you think twice is enough?
Nope. No.
In all fairness,
You do
technically
know you're
every
talking
single
about
time.
Hollywood, right?
Technically, Varen, every single time a new play is put on of Little Shop, they're remaking it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like,
I know. I feel like it's been rehashed so many times. I've
Phantom of
seen
the
it.
Opera, Les Mis.
but I will still go see it again. I love it.
No, it is
I
a
will.
good.
Never
It is
seen
a
it.
good play. I do.
You know, Rick. They can't replace Rick Moranis or Steve Martin. I'm sorry.
Or Bill Murray.
Or yeah. Yeah.
They had a good cast. That is for sure.
But Steve Martin
It's
is the
gonna be
dentist.
hard.
Yeah.
He was perfect for that.
He was, and he
Oh
had
my gosh,
he
yeah.
didn't have white hair. It's one of the few roles that I've seen him in that he didn't have white hair.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Yeah, I know, but so the question is now, where does this go? I mean, will we see these things come back to Netflix, or are they going to be permanently gone, and we're going to start seeing other people say, "Huh, look what Disney did."
Can I play devil's advocate for Disney
Sure.
for a moment? Myself being a Disney file, I can totally see myself paying however much they're asking.
Well, and that's what they're banking on.
because I want access to that.
But are you
vault.
willing to pay? And I'm just throwing a number out there.
But-
So this is not. Actually
Let's say if
official,
they
but $20 a month.
charge you $30 or $40 a month.
If they gave me one of those trial periods where I could actually see the content and see if all my I'm a kid of the 90s, okay? I remember the Disney Channel. I remember So Weird. I remember all those Disney shows. So Lizzie McGuire, stuff like that. Now,
I want my old Nickelodeon shows back. Can't say that on television.
I want the new DuckTales. I want it out. I want it out.
all those
new
other
Rick
ones.
and Morty just came out. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
but
go on.
okay, new DuckTales.
Patience Boy.
Not going to go to Netflix. Going to go to the Disney app.
Exactly.
Subscription.
But if they have the old DuckTales on there, I'm fine with that too because, again,
Oh,
if
they
they
better.
have Tailspin,
I'm sorry.
I already own
Chip
the
and
old
Dale,
DuckTales.
Oh.
all of those shows, everything from
Oh.
my childhood, that nostalgia, I
They,
totally pay the
they
money.
just recently announced they're going to be rebooting Darkwing Duck.
No, they are
Yes.
not.
Yep.
Yes!
Oh boy.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. I'm
I am
so
the gum
excited.
that sticks to the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah. So there are pros and cons. I think it's awesome that all the Disney content will be together. I'm worried about how much it's going to cost because I already got two services, and my kids love the Disney stuff. I love it because of Star Wars and Marvel, but if I want those, I'm going to have to pick them up again. So, yeah.
You see, and now I grew up wishing that my parents would buy cable.
Oh.
We survived off
Oh,
public
yeah.
television, and now it's almost like you not only have to get a cable subscription, you have to. Well, cable's obsolete basically, but what's replaced it are all these other subscriptions. So instead of having a cable subscription, I don't have cable TV. I mean, maybe if I want to watch some football or something, but I don't pay for extra for channels. It's only the free stuff they throw my way because I buy internet so that I can watch my Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that really upsets me. You have to have cable or something now. And the reason for that is normal television is boring. There is nothing really on there. I mean, Saturday morning cartoons do not exist anymore. That's such a sad loss.
That's a tragedy. That's
It
a
is.
sin right there.
That was it. Saturday morning.
See, and that's
Saturday
the other
morning
thing I
Glory
miss
had a
was
good
the
job at the
Disney
same time we
blog
did.
on
Yeah.
ABC.
That's
That's
why
where these ones came from.
That's why I bought all the DVDs of Tailspin and Darkwing
Yeah.
Duck and DuckTales as soon as they came out. Like, I picked those
My
up.
Saturday
And
morning.
Gargoyles. Oh my gosh, I love
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Garfield.
Another good
Garfield.
Garfield and
I
Friends, yeah.
found all all 2 seasons of Gargoyle on
Yeah.
Overstock, and I bought that the
I
minute
mean,
I saw it.
my Saturday morning was me waking up at 6 a.m., making me a bowl of Captain Crunch, sitting in front of the television until 10:30.
Oh,
You know,
minimum.
and then I took off. I was gone for the day, playing outside, doing whatever I saw
you
on
had just
TV.
been motivated by all that
Oh, yeah.
awesomeness,
Yeah.
and now you have to go out and make things explode on your own.
Yeah.
It gave you a reason to wake up on the weekend as a child.
Oh yeah.
And then they
There
had
was no
Iron Man.
sleeping in on Saturday.
They
What's
would even-
sleeping in?
They would even extend it onto Sunday morning sometimes for like
Yeah.
for some cartoon. Like Iron Man had a
Oh
cartoon.
yeah,
Yeah.
Iron Man
And
had
Hulk
a
had a
Sunday.
cartoon.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, Transformers,
Oh yeah, there were some- there were
Thundercats,
some great ones.
Silverhawk,
and I remember when Disney
G.I.
launched
Joe.
Toon Disney, which was
Oh, yeah.
supposed to be like the replacement for all the Saturday night.
Bonkers.
Scooby-Doo,
Bonkers!
Flintstones.
Oh, man.
I miss the Flintstones.
See, and they'll probably bring
Bump
back
in
a
the
lot of
Night.
these
Does
too.
anyone
Yeah.
remember Bump
Yeah.
in the Night?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Reboot. Oh,
See,
wow.
and Cartoon Network kind of did the same thing when they brought that Boomerang channel, which has a lot of the old Scooby-Doo and all that stuff. But it's like, again, you need
Well, even
Cable.
Cartoon Network.
Upgraded
I mean, you had to get cable to get Cartoon Network, but even
Yeah.
now, the Cartoon Network is nothing like it used to be.
No, it sucks.
It sucks. I've gone and looked at it and I'm like, what are we're almost out of time, but what are these cartoons? I mean, Adventure Time
Castle
and
of
Rick and
Justice.
Morty, and it's like there's it's like the cheapest animation I have ever seen. It's like they hired an 8-year-old
Yeah.
to just draw. And
SpongeBob.
please
SquarePants.
excuse me, for the artists that are doing these. I'm sure they're amazing artists, but it's just like, what happened to really awesome cartoons?
I feel like the last really awesome cartoon I've seen was Avatar. Not
Avatar.
Korra, Avatar.
Avatar was amazing.
Yeah, no.
Great storytelling.
The
Great.
Last Airbender
animation.
Avatar?
Yeah.
The Last
Okay.
Airbender, because the art, the story, everything was really, really good.
Well,
But
kids and parents could watch it alike, and everybody would have
Well,
fun in it.
and Korra had its moments, but if you watch season 2, you can definitely see a disconnect between the art styles, and being the OCD cosplaying artist I am, it bugs me. I cannot focus on those episodes.
well, look at we got Batman the animated series, and then we had that Batman
And Superman.
and Batman and Superman, but I'm talking more that Batman that Dietrich Bader voiced.
oh yeah,
The
yeah.
artwork for
Brave
that
and
was
the Bold.
horrible.
Brave
Yeah,
and the
Brave and the
Bold.
Bold. It was just horrible. It's like,
It was a little too pop art for me.
yeah, it's just like, are they just trying to rush the stuff out and not flesh it out and make it solid?
Well,
really
that
they're
was
confused
more
by that.
quantity than quality now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, that was what was so amazing about that series was the artwork was really well done. The stories were
was
really
dark and
well
moody.
developed. It was Batman. I mean, it was. We got the dark, broody, but it was still enough that it was a kid's show.
And let's be honest, that's the Batman most kids my age and most kids who are watching like The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and all of that. That's how we were first introduced to Batman, was through that animated series.
Yeah.
And we're the millennials who are buying the tickets now, who are propelling these movies into the stratosphere.
We just need to find Kevin Conroy to do Batman's voice.
Have
and
you guys
say,
seen that
this-
video
I
where he
did.
does the Dark Knight? Oh,
Yeah.
No,
I-
they did not do that. Oh my god,
I
we're gonna
hated
have
it.
to look it up.
I hated it. I'll have to admit,
Really?
but I didn't hate him doing the voice. I hated seeing Christian Bell doing his weird movements and hearing Conroy's voice.
Oh no, they just showed the camera of Kevin Conroy.
Oh no, I watched a video where
Oh, I-
someone synced it
Oh,
up.
I didn't
didn't
see.
watch
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
all I've seen is where they're sitting in front of the mic doing the cold.
Yeah,
read.
no,
Yeah,
as
with-
far
with,
Paulson,
with
I've watched
Paulson.
I've
Yeah.
watched that one.
Yeah.
And it's great, but then I watched the video where they synced it up, And it just killed it for me. Because I'm seeing Christian Bale, but hearing Kevin Conroy's voice, and it just doesn't work because, that Batman, Kevin Conroy's Batman, always looks you square in the eye, and he looks,
he
and
stands up
he's straight
tall
and tall and
He's
imposing.
intimidating.
But Christian Bale's Batman's always kind of, his head's leaning to the side, and he's always kind of hunched in these weird positions.
Almost like
and
he's
it's
trying
just,
to hide in his own shadow.
yeah, and it didn't feel right hearing that voice and seeing that guy.
There's
Yeah.
different levels of broodiness.
Yeah, there is.
Well, hey,
So-
we've been steaming of streaming.
We have, so we're out of time. With that said, give us your thoughts, your opinions, what you think of what Disney has announced, what you're doing.
What Disney's doing.
If you agree with this, if you dislike it, what subscription services you use and what you love, and how you get your geek fix. So with that said, we're out of here.
Bye.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Did you say tower or terror?
Terror.
It's a tower now.
I'm terror. I'm terror.
Laughing tower. Don't go in it. It should
Oh,
be condemned.
boys.
Yes.
Are you a fan of Dungeon Crawlers? Then it's time for you to level up your experience. Download our episodes that are released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And not only that, we want to hear from you. We want to know who you want to hear on the show, what author, what celebrity, what game designers you want to hear. Not only that, we also want to hear what you like about the show. So, with that said, please reach out to info@dungeoncrawlersradio.com, email us on Twitter or Facebook, and let us know what you want to hear on this show, because we want it to be as much of your show as it is ours. So, with that said, we're out of here, and we'll catch you next time.